Hey guys, small informative video for you guys that live in the Midwest and plow with your machine. What I've got here and what I use is Western's Impact V plow. I've got the wings on the side of this. Makes it about 7 foot 2 inches, but it's a heavy plow. It's a little over 400 pounds, which poses some challenges to the stock springs and Can-Am's heavy duty springs. Let me show you here. Stock springs just cannot hold the weight of this plow. They squat really bad. So the dealer recommends going to their heavy duty springs, which I believe is what actually comes on the cab model of these machines, to hold the extra weight from the full doors and the windshield. But what I've got here, and it looks like the stock springs, it's actually the stock spring and heavy duty spring together. Not a whole lot of difference here, actually. I feel like I wasted my money on their heavy duty spring. But the stock spring here on the left has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 coils. And their heavy duty spring, which I put on, has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 coils. It's actually got one tiny extra coil, and both of them have the exact same circumference. It absolutely did nothing, no difference on holding the weight of the plow at all. So my next option was to get a hold of S3 Power Sports to get a set of their heavy duty springs. These coils are actually a bigger circumference and heavier spring than the stock springs. And there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 coils. What's nice about these is on the softest setting, the ride was fantastic. No more roll in the corners when you're driving, but it raised the machine close to 3 inches on the soft setting. Adding the plow on now that's getting colder and I started plowing, you can see that I cranked it up a little bit so it holds the weight of the plow really good. But then I even went to a different tire. It's a slightly bigger tire. It's a little taller, which raised the front of the machine more, but it's a wider tire. Stock tires are 9 inches on the front and 11 on the rear. What I ended up doing is putting 10-inch tires all the way around with the same size rims, which makes it nice. You can actually rotate the tires when the fronts start to wear from the weight of the plow and plowing in the season. But the 10-inch 8-ply tire over the 9-inch 6-ply stock tire holds the weight of the plow better as well. But what happens here, now I've raised the machine almost 4 inches over stock, and what happens is the plow now doesn't sit right. Since the rear of the plow is raised up, the front of the plow cants forward. Instead of gliding and plowing the snow like it should, it now cuts. Now your ram compensates and lowers, but it can't lower enough to adjust the angle. To fix that, my first instinct was to call Western and ask them if they made another type of drop bracket for these machines, and they don't. They make one bracket, and that's all they make. Luckily, about a half an hour from where I live, there's a machine shop that made me a new bracket, but this is the stock bracket that comes on the machine. What they do is give you 2 mounting holes, depending on the size of your machine, if it raises or lowers, but you have like a 1-inch difference here. That doesn't help a whole lot. I went down as far as I could, and I drilled a 3rd hole to lower it down, but it just couldn't compensate for the 4 inches that I raised the machine. To fix that, this bracket that I had made is an identical bracket, but it's got a much bigger drop. Then I've got 2 adjustment holes here as well. And what that did is it lowered all this back down kind of into stock specs. so my plow rides like it's supposed to. Because there's no way these stock machines with 6-ply, 9-inch tires and cheap springs can hold all that weight of that plow, which gets even heavier if you've got wet snow that's sticking to it. Bigger tires, heavier duty springs with the lift. Now my machine pushes snow and rides the way it's supposed to. But hopefully that answers any questions that some of you might have if you're going to start plowing. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thanks for looking, guys.